Good morning. It's a beautiful Saturday morning out here. The bumbles are bumbling, the birds are singing and chirping, and the airplanes are all coming this way and flying over us. They're in some sort of a weird flight pattern today, but that's how it is. So it may get a little noisy, but it's Saturday morning and it's time for a little bit of maintenance. We're in the late part of August and it's really hot, as it always is in North Texas. And so there's just some things to do. There's not a lot to do, but there's still some maintenance and some takedown. Some things are thriving, some things are surviving, and there's just a mixed match of all different states of things in the garden and on the property. So we're just kind of holding until things sort of let up a little bit on the heat, which is supposed to happen in the next week or two. So I think this is going to be our hottest day for the next 2 weeks. But anyway, what we're really out here to do right now is we're going to finish harvesting tomatillos. Oh, you're over there. Tomatillos, which I have been remiss in harvesting. I've got a couple other plants in another location. This guy is kind of getting tired and done, and he's got a lot of tomatillos, although they're smaller now. Probably because of the heat and the fact that I haven't really trimmed him up well. So his little guys are, but they're not bad. They're smaller, but they'll still work. And in case you don't know what it looks like, and this one's small, but it looks good. Actually, they're usually, you can harvest them when they're a little more green, but these have been on there cooking, but they're still going to work. The reason I have gloves on is a couple of different things, because I'm actually going to take this plant out, but also these guys are so sticky. Um, when you peel away the papery husk, there's like this sort of sticky film, and I'm sure that's something that is just to maybe to keep something from eating it. I don't know. The birds are still going at them, and our hornworms that were living on our tomatoes, and I took the tomatoes out finally, they like them too. And we found some some hornworms on this plant, although I'm not sure that they actually liked it as much as they do the tomatoes. So anyway, that's what's going on. But I need to get this down, and I wanted to talk about how much I'm really loving these tomato cages or trellises that are uh, buildable. You know, they come apart, you can build them up, stack them, stackable, whatever you want to call it. We started using these, I guess, at the end of last year. Okay. And liked them, and I got a few more, and I really think they work well. The ones that I bought this past year, because I bought them in two different sets, they interchange, so that's great. Uh, that one in particular, the last one, gets up to 68 inches tall, which that's really tall. Um, Obviously, for me, and in a raised bed, this is about as high as we can go for me without needing a ladder. So luckily, I have a tall friend who's going to help me, take this down and get this out of here. But anyway, but I really love how it's worked out. It's been really sturdy. It's held up to the heat as far as I can tell. Um, I mean, time will tell on that. But I really think they're great, and I'm definitely going to be using them. I'm going to start some fall crops pretty soon. Like I say, as soon as the weather kind of gives us a break, we'll start some other things. I might get some cucumbers in some and get some cucumbers out of them before we have a frost, because it's going to be a long time before we have our frost. So anyway, but we're trying to get some things done before the sun hits everything, because it's going to be a scorcher again today, and it's already humid out here. So I'm just going to harvest what I can. Probably have to take some of it down to get to all of it, and then we'll just wrap this up and store it and get it ready for its next use. So we really like it. So on these tomatillos, and this really wasn't supposed to be a video about tomatillos necessarily, but you know what they do is they form up, they have their blooms. Think of it, you know, like a tomato. They have a bloom, really pretty little yellow. I don't even know if there's any on here right now, but little pretty yellow blooms, and they of course become the fruit, and it puts off this balloon, and it's small at first and it grows larger, but then the balloon, if you will, gets to a certain size, and then the tomatillo starts growing inside of it. So in this one, it's not quite filled out. So you can see there's a lot of room inside the balloon, but he's in there. So he's only, if I can get it open, he's only this big. He's just like a little cherry tomato kind of thing. But you know what? It's going to be salsa, and it's actually okay. And I'm going to leave them sit for a little while on the counter anyway in the kitchen before I start doing stuff with them. But I'm just, you know, I'm ready. I don't think that this, I mean, this plant could go on and do a few more things, you know, put off a few more fruit, but I think it's getting kind of tired. It doesn't seem to really, I mean, it's nice and green, but it's just not doing as happy, being as happy as it could be. So there's one. Anyway, but we like tomatillos, and whoopsie, I'm sure they're good for you. I've dropped some on the ground, and some have fallen off, and some have gone to the birds, and that's okay. And this guy got all unruly, and I didn't like stake up this part, so this has been hanging over the other side of the fence. And there's actually some pretty big tomatillos. Look, see, this is really what it should, well, it's what it really is supposed to look like. Is it is supposed to start bursting out of its paper on the vine like this. This is its natural way of doing it. And this one's actually kind of getting a little old because I haven't been over here harvesting like I should. But like, here's another one that's like that. And you can just pop them off. You don't have to cut them off or anything. But that's what you want to see. And so yeah, so we're gonna have just one more crop of, well, one more crop of this plant, because like I said, I have them in a couple other places. So this one, you can see something happened. Like, it's something got inside there, and it's just mush. Probably a bug, and so it's all mushy inside there, so we don't want that guy. But anyway, I'm just gonna keep harvesting, and then we're going to take this tomato cage down and show you how that works and how easy it is. And yeah, see these up high? I can tell they're just getting too hot. The paper, the husk is getting all dried up before the tomatillo's ready. So that's how it is when it's so hot. Okay, so my tall friend is going to help me take down what's left here. This is always just such a bittersweet, comes one of those planes. It's always such a bittersweet thing because I always feel like, oh, it's got a little more life in it. But again, I'm done with it. There's no point in having it hang out and looking really sad because, you know, as good as it looks right now in the shade in the morning, this afternoon, it will look so forlorn and bedraggled and weepy, and yeah. So anyway, Don's just kind of systematically cutting away at it, and he's tall so he can lift it right out the top. If I were by myself, I would probably take that top layer of the rack off.
And you can even see how tall
and yeah,
these really are. I mean, that's so on the ground, and
he's 6'6", yeah, and the top of it is almost 6'6". Yeah. So that's a formidable plant. And there's some Swiss chard, and it's very happy. Anyway, so it's just a matter of popping it apart all the pieces come apart. I guess, you know, you don't have to take it apart. You could store it like this, but
Right.
the beauty of it is it all fits in a small box, and we love it. So it comes apart, all the
It reminds me of an old erector set that I used to
yeah.
have. But it comes all the way down to these aluminum holes, rods, whatever
And
you want to
so,
call it.
and like he just said, aluminum. So those rods, as you can hear them, are aluminum, I guess. They're lightweight, but they're metal.
And they don't rust.
And they don't rust, because obviously there's a lot of water.
And we'll take these ends completely off to store them, but for now, till we get to the container that we store all this in, I'm just going to leave those attached so I don't lose them.
Okay, great. And there's certain fittings that are, there's like a 4-way fitting, and then these are 3-way, because this is what we topped off the top of it. So, but the 4 ways are so that you can keep building. So that's more like what this is. So it's an up and down and side to side fitting, so that you can just keep building out and building up. Anyway, I love it, and I'm very happy with them. So, and I don't know why he's in here.
And we have these in several places, in addition to this, and in addition to the old school style tomato cages that are behind you, right?
That's right. So over here, and I still use the old style. This one in particular is housing a poor cucumber plant that's seen his better days. There, we have a trumpet vine that just gets to where it encroaches everything by this time of the, and look at the pods on it. They're just crazy. They're full of seeds, full of them. Anyway, it's that time of the year where, but I digress. So yeah, so we've got this tomato cage here, and we love those kind too. They work. And this plant, when there was like 4 of them in here actually at one time, which is probably more than I really should have been doing, but it held it well. And yeah, and these work really well for if you have, you know, if you're going to use a pot instead of in the ground or in a bed. And we just, you know, we happen to have this raised bed, so it's up higher, but we have some lower raised beds that they work well with too. So
yeah, I was going to show you on the part that you actually put in the ground, in this case a raised bed, of course. That end actually has like a spike on it. Right. I don't know if you can see that.
So you just need to make sure when you're first getting set up, grab 4 of the spikes right here. And those are going to be the ones that you're going to put in the ground. Obviously, just to help you get it in the ground, depending on, I mean, our soil in our beds is pretty soft and easy to work with. But I can imagine if you're in the harder ground, that's really helpful to have. So yeah, so there they are, and off we go, and the plant's still there. I guess we could leave it. No, I don't think so. I think we're done. Look at this root system. Gosh. Oh my gosh, look at all that. It's beautiful. It was a good healthy plant, and it served its purpose. And you know, for just honestly pennies, when you grow stuff from seed and you end up with, you know, any fruit, I mean, you're spending more money on water than anything. Look at that guy. And the roots that we'll leave in here are just going to break down and help, you know, fortify the soil, and nothing wrong with that. Oh, it smells like dirt.
And we'll just put this in the compost bin.
Yeah, it'll be
let it break down with the other things in the compost bin.
Love it. Love it. All right, so now we've got a bit of a blank slate over here, so who knows what we're going to decide to put in there for a fall crop.